One of my most favorite of my colleagues, when he heard I was doing 9/11, he made a phone call to me and left it on my answering machine, said almost exactly the same thing. You're going to hurt you're going to damage your reputation with going this way, and I didn't pay any attention either. But but now he is, when the soft cover came out, he sent me an email saying that this will have long-term historical value.
Hi everyone. My name is Adam Parrott, and I've been organizing with 911truth.org for the last couple of years. Now I'd like to introduce our moderator for this evening, Dr. Richard B. Lee. He's a University Professor Emeritus of Anthropology at the University of Toronto, and he holds a cross appointment at the Center for International Health and is a fellow of the New College. He has held academic appointments at Harvard, Rutgers, and Columbia Universities, and research positions at Stanford, Australian National University, and Kyoto University. He is internationally known for his ethnographic studies, starting in 1963, of hunting and gathering societies. He has published 6 books and over 100 articles and chapters. He has long advocated that anthropology as a discipline must engage with issues of social justice. He has been involved in such issues such as the anti-apartheid and African liberation movements, the campaign for peace in the Middle East and justice for Palestinians, and the 9/11 Truth movement. A fellow of the Royal Society of Canada and past president of the Canadian Anthropology Society, Lee holds honorary doctorates from the University of Alaska, Fairbanks, and Guelph University for his research and advocacy on behalf of Indigenous peoples. So would you please give a warm welcome to Dr. Richard B. Lee.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you to all of you for coming out on an evening when here in Toronto, there's interesting other events of a similar nature going on elsewhere within a few blocks of here, including a Palestinian event at Bloor United Church, and I believe Tariq Ali is speaking at Oise. So welcome to this evening of information and discussion about the event of 9/11/2001. We all agree that it has been the pivotal event of the new century, but what really happened on that day? What really happened? The official story has it that 19 Muslim terrorists, under the leadership of a man in a cave in Afghanistan, hijacked 4 aircraft and were able to fly with such skill that they rammed them into 3 of the most recognizable landmarks in the United States. Further, the most powerful military force in the history of the world was caught completely off guard and failed utterly and miserably to protect and interdict any of the aircraft, resulting in close to 3,000 deaths, in what must rank as the most colossal failure of intelligence and defense in the history of the world. Further, that 2 massive office towers in downtown New York collapsed in 60 to 90 minutes into their own footprints from the effects of fire generated by burning jet fuel, even though no steel-framed high-rise building in world history has ever collapsed as a result of fire, even though some cases the fires have burned for 30 hours. Further, on the morning of the attacks, the head of the ISI, Pakistani intelligence, was having breakfast with key CIA and White House officials in Washington, but a few weeks later was found to have issued a payment of $100,000 to none other than Mohammed Atta, the purported ringleader of the 9/11 attacks. When this was revealed, the ISI official was quietly retired with no further effort on the part of U.S. law enforcement to investigate further. Further, the President of the United States, for 411 days, resisted the calls to set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the events of 9/11 and the multiple and catastrophic failures in defense and intelligence. By contrast, the Kennedy assassination and commission and the Pearl Harbor inquiries were inaugurated within a few days or weeks of the events, of the catastrophes. Now we come to the most intriguing and distressing part of this story. These and dozens of other unexplained gaps, contradictions, omissions, and distortions and outright falsehoods in the official story have been brought to light and documented by a growing army of critics, analysts, and whistleblowers, some of whom two of whom will be presenting this evening. The critics' consensus is that there is no way that 19 young Arab men with extremely limited flying experience, led by a guy in a cave, could have pulled off this massive blow against the world's superpower on their own. The inevitable implication follows that the real perpetrators of these attacks remain at large. Yet, why have the floodgates not opened of popular protest committed to getting to the bottom of this? Why isn't the media filled with page after page of penetrating investigative journalism following up any of the hundreds of anomalies in the official story? The 9/11 anomalies and contradictions have generated a powerful and growing movement of scholars and serious students, among whom are tonight's featured speakers. Others who are leaders of the 9/11 Truth movement include ex-Los Angeles police officer Michael Rupert, former Reagan White House official Catherine Austin Fitts, retired Marine Corps officer Dr. Robert Bowman, Canada's own media critic Barry Zwicker, and California theologian David Ray Griffin, who we recognize as the dean of the 9/11 Truth movement. There are heavyweights here, yet the official media like to label and dismiss anything that challenges the official story as conspiracy theory. But in the light of the weight of serious scholarship questioning the official story, surely the concerted effort to stifle any serious debate and investigation despite the compelling evidence, is it not a conspiracy in its own right? And it's not just the current White House and the Republican Party that are parties to this conspiracy of silence. The Clintons and even President-elect Obama don't question it. And even the icon of left criticism of U.S. policies, Noam Chomsky, has repeatedly refused to be drawn into any discussions that challenge the official story of 9/11. That is why this evening's event is so important. It provides an all too rare opportunity to hold a forum in which serious students of the events of 9/11 can present the evidence in an atmosphere of open-minded scholarly exchange. I should add that one of the goals of tonight's meeting, as Adam Parrott mentioned, is to form a student chapter of the 9/11 Truth movement here on the U of T campus, similar to the very successful group of Waterloo students that are in 9/11 Truth activities, numbering over 100. So I'd like to shift gears now, and I'd like to introduce the first speaker of tonight. That is Professor Paul Zarembka, Professor of Economics at the State University of New York. He's a contributing author and the editor of a book that is available here, The Hidden History of 9/11, a volume of the journal Research in Political Economy. This volume is composed of rigorous scholarship on the September 11th attacks and investigates whether the U.S. government has told the truth about what happened on that fateful day.